Yes, that looks good. We're live.
All right, excellent. Well, happy to be back after a week off.
Yes. We were very sorry that we couldn't be there last week, but we all know that sometimes life gets in the way, right? So, unfortunately, we weren't there, but we're happy to be back for sure.
And this week, actually, last week I did catch the finishes of most of the categories. They're in the European category there. The C pen actually finished before the B pen, so I didn't capture the C pen, but I will give Gina a link to put in the description if people want to just see what happened at the finish last week, which was where the action was for sure, because it was flat, 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 and then Libby Hill. So um, we captured all of the updated standings, which there was a lot of shuffling based on the finishes last week. So
Yeah, I
um,
was very surprised looking at the current standings after you sent them to me. I was kind of surprised with all the changes because I couldn't look at any of the races last week.
yeah, I think that the A cat actually flip-flopped a lot. And the C cat flip-flopped a lot. The cat E was similar, but if you see going into this final race, the top person is going to get 100. So in certain categories, the placings are pretty solid. I mean, Joanne has a pretty solid lead. Camilla is, I mean, that could flip-flop based on first, second, third. So um, A could be tight, E could be tight. Category D, Aunt Ruth is pretty solid. 40 points is pretty solid. And Joanne is pretty solid in B. So it'll be interesting to see what we got here. And then the USA East, there was a small pen last week for especially the A. And I think New Zealand may have changed their time. They may have done daylight savings. So
Hmm.
I'm not sure if we'll see the New Zealand riders, but that could flip-flop a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. And we're going to make a beautiful post later as well when we know the official standings after the final race for both the European and Americans East. Warrior Games Insta and will obviously show those beautiful podia again. So
Yeah. And what I was impressed with last week seeing the finishes was some of the breakaways in some of these categories were really spectacular, because Libby Hill is kind of one of those segments where it's usually the middle of a race, right? So you usually see people being not conservative, but not going all out. And
yeah,
this is all out on that hill. And there were some spectacular breaks. So I'll make sure to share that link.
I will have to watch those links as well. Good. Realizing that it is about 2 minutes to race start, let's talk about today's race a little bit then.
Yeah. So this will be 12 laps of downtown Dolphin, and each lap is about 2 kilometers, or exactly 2 kilometers. So um, this direction is kind of interesting in my perspective, because you definitely have the ability to push over that tiny hill and really solidify a break
Yeah.
by pushing into the rollers. Once you carry speed into the rollers, if you're with a group, it's very hard to catch. So,
Yeah,
um,
but on the other hand, if you're alone, it's also very hard to keep a gap,
oh yeah,
right? So, mm,
group speed really helps on those rollers.
yeah,
So,
I'm 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 gonna be really excited about this one. 12 laps of it. It's gonna be hectic. It's gonna be difficult to broadcast for you, but we're going to do the best that we can. And yeah, I'm very excited. I love this course myself. It's very punchy in a way.
oh yeah, it's almost like a roller coaster.
It is.
And these power-ups will really help. So if you're trying to shake someone off the back and you have a burrito and you go to the back of your group and you drop the burrito, it's going to be hard for someone to stay on the back, for instance.
So
And
while I'm switching to actually our Zwift view, I'm also very interested about your thoughts on the Steamroller on this one. I mean, the AERO, I think, is very clear what it will do, but when to use the Steamroller, basically.
there's really only one spot to use the Steamroller, and that's in that tiny hill because it's a cobble for half of it. So you turn a corner in the middle of the segment, and you've got cobblestone on the last half. So if you get the Steamroller in any other point, it's really not going to do anything because it's all road. So I imagine people will want to throw them away if they get them and they can't use them on that segment. So
Yeah, exactly. So please, ladies, also don't forget to throw them away because you would want to be able to pick up your next power up if you can't use the Steamroller, right?
yeah. Yep. And I mean, an AERO helmet to me is the most helpful, unless you're playing defense and helping out a teammate. The Burrito might be useful, or I mean, people are more creative with the Ghost and with the Burrito than me, but I generally don't love them.
I am totally with you there. I generally also don't love the Burrito per se. I will curse in my live streams if somebody around me throws a Burrito when I don't want them to throw a Burrito. So yeah, that's definitely me.
Yeah. And this A pen has been together all three races.
Yeah.
They've stayed. So I think we'll likely see the same from them this week.
Yeah, very likely. Although I think the most interesting laps will likely be getting closer to the final, seeing what people will do. It could break apart, but definitely for our streaming, it would be nicer if they stay together, I have to say.
Yeah, I would love to watch it come together for the finish, because this direction for the finish is also super interesting in that you have to go around that 180-degree turn and sprint to the finish. So
look what the first little KOM did to the pack, though. It's totally strung out.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of there's not two big groups though. So if it gets strung out, I think they'll come back together on those rollers.
So just off, Sea Cat as well. There they go.
Yeah, so this pen, so I think that there were close to 55 signups, so only 41 starters, but that's a pretty good group. You already see one off the back. Hope she gets back in before that climb, because you really can't come back if you're dropped on that climb.
And unfortunately, we see another one struggling right there. I think they're doing a pretty fast start. I see like 4 watts the kilo all around. That's a hot start.
Yeah. So in this category, this is 300 to 400. So in the traditional categories, right, the limits for C category were 3.33 for 20 minutes. And I think what was the Z map? Was it 4 watts a kilo for 5 minutes to cat up?
I think so, yeah. I very bad of me, but I've already forgot the different systems that we all have. There's so many.
That's probably smart to just let it go. But when I think about who is in this pen and who I would have seen racing in this, if it was the traditional categories, you'd be able to see C's and B's probably. So
yeah, I know that one of my friends who's in here, Karen van der Rook, who we're now watching, is actually, I think if I say it correctly, a high C at the moment. She was riding ZRL as a high C. So yeah.
that makes sense.
I think that makes sense to call it a C/B group if you relate it back to the old category.
Yeah, and I know we're going to let go of those categories soon, as long as I can wrap my head around it.
We've got different things to worry about now, right? Think about all those new bike upgrades.
Yeah. Oh gosh. I feel like I need a encyclopedia for that now.
Yeah.
So last
Oh,
week
what's
we also
happening there?
saw a bunch of whoa.
So
What was
we're
that?
now, I don't know what that was, but we're now in with eCatch because they've also just started and it looks like they're 30 seconds away. And I'm trying to look a little bit at the back of the peloton and we can see that there's definitely some ladies struggling back there. Some ladies fire socks trying to get back on.
Yeah, and they really have to push. They really have to get back on here. So
Yeah,
um,
if you're not on before the first hill, it's going to be super difficult.
yeah. And even though it's a scratch style race, that is a natural place of division. So you don't see a lot of, speaking of the new bikes, you don't see a lot of the SL8s in here.
No, because there are changes now, I was already looking at the bikes as well, and mostly I can still see the Canyons in there, some Trons, Pinarello, which also turned out to be a good bike. But I think you're right, just looking at it, not a lot of the S-Works, the SL8s.
I wonder if we go and we look at the bikes in the other pens, if they're going to be more. I mean, I guess the disc wheels are still the fastest on flat courses. So
Yeah. So it does
wow.
seem to be doing something strange when I switch between groups, but we're in the A because my lovely co-host told me to watch their bikes then. And I do see a lot more white S-Works in here. So
Yeah.
yeah. And also different sets of disc wheels because I think these lovely colory ones are actually performing better now than the DT Swiss ones that other people have on. So looks like some people did their homework and some people may have done their homework, but on old information.
And those that SL8 is also super expensive. I think it's 1.7 million drops. So, you know, if anybody's trying to save up for something, they probably don't want that one.
I do think, however, that a lot of us old Swifties, I should say, likely do have a lot of drops saved up. At least if I'm talking about myself, I think I've got about 10 million that I can spend.
Yeah. And then if you ride it and then you want to upgrade it, then it's another, you know, however many thousand points. So
I heard some really cool little tricks that people are doing now to get kilometers into their bikes. Have somebody ride up Alpe du Zwift and then join a friend, something like that,
downhill.
and then you just go downhill, and then you leave your friend at the top, and then you can just rejoin them.
Ooh, that's sneaky.
That is sneaky, right? But I thought it was pretty cool when they were talking about it.
So as we're viewing, I just noticed a lot of feathers being dropped, and that's not supposed to be one of our power-ups this week. So that must have
No,
been a mistake.
I think that might have been a mistake with the setup then.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, I haven't seen any steamrollers. I wonder if the steamroller got replaced with the feather.
Let's see if we can at some point catch a burrito or maybe a draft, because it might be that the three the main ones are the ones that they're getting then instead of the burrito and the steamroller.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely would change the play, right? So I think that that's really the only other place that you would use the feather as well. So the feather and the steamroller would have been used in the same place.
Exactly, yeah.
But a draft van would definitely change the game.
Think so. Okay, so now I'm going to be watching out for which power-ups people are dropping. A lot of PRs being set, by the way. Did you see that? The reign of PRs?
I mean, I don't think that people are in this world a lot. So
oh, that might be true. It's also a long time since I've raced this course.
Yeah, I was watching a ladder race on this course yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, with mixed riders, it really benefits those bigger riders. So because it's pretty flat and
look at that deck on the front. Just to be sure, I think they're quite similar jerseys that these ladies are wearing. It looks like Synergy is on the attack.
Ooh, it's a group attack too.
It's, yeah,
Interesting.
it's 3 synergy riders on the attack. Look at that. Interesting.
Yeah.
On lap 4 as
Man.
well, right? They've just started lap 4. Yes, I see an AERO helmet, a feather.
Yeah, you see the peloton rolling back. They're 2 seconds back, but that's
They're
hard to
they're coming
maintain.
back though. I think they're, yeah, they're
Yeah.
right in the draft after the climb. It's, there's so many corners on this course that I have to keep adjusting the camera.
Yeah. And I'm trying to look to see if any of the top 5 riders are in the top 5 in the standings, and I don't think Alberg is Swedish Swifters. Svarström, I think, is also Swedish Swifters. Rian Denton, she's Roca Corba. Jill Pruitt, she's BL13. And Therese Walkendorf, who does she ride for? I'm wondering if the team tactic is to help one of their teammates that move up in the standings.
I think
Let me see.
Synergy also just likes to play the game. I ride them in ZRL. They are really, really, really tough contesters. And they always come with a plan. They always come with an idea for attacks, and I just love it. They make the race more interesting. They make the race more tough on all of us ladies, which I thoroughly enjoy.
It's awesome. I enjoy the game as well, and I find that a lot of my teammates are bikers, and I'm just starting to say, like, I'm not a biker. I like to bike, but I'm not a biker. I'm more a Zwifter or like an esports person. I like the game.
Yeah, I think I'm exactly the same. I mean, I also like to do my outdoors tours, maybe some gravel races each season, but by heart, I'm really loving the game. And also, like this time we have a scratch race, but if you ask me, there are so many great things that you can do. Points
Yeah.
races are amazing to do as well. The TTTs, love them. There's the Dirt Racing Series as well that has a very interesting concept, the team time race, which basically means that your fourth person over the line, that's the time you'll get. So you will
Oh,
always have to just care for your fourth rider, and it makes for very interesting and tactical racing, something different than what you see in other races.
yeah. That is a super interesting concept. I haven't raced that series. Is it just individual?
No, it's a
Is
team
it just
series. It's also a team
it,
series. So,
oh,
what is it? What have you got? You've got 8 spots, and all 8 of the racers can race every week. And then your best 4 count.
okay.
And
And it's
you're also fighting for individual jerseys. So just so you know, it's not only a team race. So
yeah.
team racing is part of it. There's also individual leaderboards for sprints, KOMs, and well, the overall leader.
Okay, so there are segments. It's not just a
Yeah.
scratch style.
No.
Interesting. Yeah. I love that there's so much out there that you can do. So,
Yeah,
um,
definitely, definitely. There's, oh my God, there's so many things. And at one point, I wanted to do everything, but you can't do everything. So you gotta make your choices on what you prefer. WTRL, obviously, with ZRL and their TTTs on Thursday, I think they're still one of the biggest. But so many beautiful community um, things going on.
yeah. Oh, yeah. And I like that it's still evolving too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So we've
Um,
been this is the finish of lap 5 for the A ladies. I think it's about time to catch some of the action in the C lady peloton.
I would love to. I am not able to fan view. I don't know why. I tried to get up a second stream, but this is one of those weird worlds. The Crit City world is hard to get in and view. So,
Well, look what it's doing when I'm trying to go to a different pack. We're just going to go upside down every single time, I think.
so that's a real Matrix style right there.
Yeah.
So are we switching to the Cs? Or
We are
we're still
now with the
A's? Yeah.
Cs.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we are.
I still see Rion Denton. She's in the
not?
A's. And London's in the A's. I'm pretty sure that's the A's.
I'm trying to
And
find
Mim.
you Paige Monroe.
Oh, there you go.
Let's see.
Oh, but it's...
This is Karen van der Raakt. This should be the C's for sure.
All right, now we're in the C's.
Yes.
There we go.
Strange world for sure.
That was weird. Paige was suddenly in the A's. That would not be a good surprise.
Not for her, no.
Yeah. She's punchy as hell, but still not fun. So you see, yeah, all power-ups I see are AERO and
feathers.
feather.
I also don't see a draft, so
yeah.
Interesting.
And yeah, I mean, a feather is helpful, but not that much more helpful because that incline is so short. You only really need 15 seconds.
And you see it now as well. Their feathers are still on, but they're already way up the KOM.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate because I do feel like, speaking about the game, it is fun to gamify it by using those power-ups.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
The feather is not as fun for this course. So that's too bad.
I was really looking forward to seeing some Burrito action while it wasn't annoying me because I'm not riding at the moment.
Fair. All right, so this group is what, 30? So the majority of the group is still in here.
I think we're losing one rider up that climb this time around.
Yeah, I think when I was watching ladder, so obviously a smaller format, there was a lot of pushes through that banner and all the way until the rollers started. And by doing that, you force someone who's struggling to really reach their limit.
Yeah, because even on the point where you normally could recover maybe a little bit, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so but then once you get to this point, I think everybody chills out in this segment of the course because it's just, there's not a lot of chances to get away when it's pan flat.
True, but as you can see, the damage has been done already because we see our rider just around the other corner there. Let's take a look back once more.
I do see a lot of those leaders. So I do see Layla Overmo. So I know she's in there.
Yeah, I see her. And then, yeah, let's watch her for a little bit.
And Jen Grelot is our leader in this category.
Who I think I also saw.
Oh, yep, there she is.
Yeah.
And then we've got Kate Lascelles and Sanna Larson and Tanya Hunt. So those are the top 5.
I think I saw all of them at the start line today.
All right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I do understand why all 4 races count. But it is sad when a rider can't make 1 week, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always sad when you can't make 1 week, but I think on 4 races it also doesn't make sense to only have 3 of them count.
Yeah. James Bailey had put on the Zwift Women's Series. Oh, wow, Layla. What a move.
Look at this.
Look at that, mid-7s. Wow. That's high. He'd put on a 6-week series where 4 finishes had counted. And I really like that because everybody has a different specialty and is a different type of rider.
Yeah.
Look at those 3 AO all together off the front. That's
yeah, this might have been something coordinated again.
Yeah. I wonder if we're going to see them try to push through the rollers.
Look at the line.
Or if they're going to sit up.
Look at the line. There's a little break.
Yeah, that break can really become a big one if they continue to push.
Yeah, I'm just continuing to look back and see what's happening. Shout out to Karen, who just got back to the front group.
Yeah, if those AO riders, they've got 3 in that front group. If they continue to push, I think that they could solidify that break.
I think they're debating it though. I don't think they are going to.
Ah. So the race is only half over now. So maybe they thought, you know what, maybe that worked. Maybe we want to try it again in a couple laps, because each lap is, 2.5 minutes. So
They just set their fastest lap though, so that does show how hard they were pushing this.
yeah, I'm curious to see if they try that again. That would be great. I'd love to see that.
I'm gonna take one peek into our E category. Kim Bryan, that should be our A category.
Well, Molly Kripe is in the E category. She's our leader, and Manon Holtman, that I just saw, is
Yeah.
and DM Doe. Okay, so actually I think all the leaders. So Christine Bruno Madsen, Molly Kripe, Manon Holtman, DM Doe, and Lisa Worms. So I don't know if I see Lisa, but all the rest of them I think I see in here.
Yeah, it's also sometimes very difficult to see with all the names just keep changing on the screen.
For sure.
I suppose we have a group of about 25, 30 people. 25 is my guess.
Is it that big?
5, 15.
Yeah,
I think 15.
that makes sense. Yeah, so they've exploded a lot more than the A category, which is kind of what we've seen across this series. And it's interesting to watch all the categories, I think, because of this fact, right? Like there might be A riders who are able to hold a sprint for a little longer and way higher. But for the most part, if you're in the A pen, you've got an ability to last a little longer, to your repeatability is generally a little higher. And so you see people being able to catch back onto the group.
Yeah.
And I think we saw it in all 4 weeks. So
yeah, true. I am just curious on your thoughts though. I get why you would do the feather straight away at the beginning of this climb, but I am a person that likes to keep the AERO till I'm at the top of the climb and then push it on the corner before the banner. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
What's your tactic on that?
I would either do it before or after, because as the grade goes up, you get less of an effect from that AERO. So either I would wait and push it at the top, or I would push it before to get a slingshot effect.
Exactly.
So I would go.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
And
obviously on the final lap, you want to keep it and not use it.
Right. And I think what's interesting about the finish here is from this corner, from this 180-degree turn to the finish, is not exactly a full sprint. So I feel like it's hard for people to handle how to come into this corner. Like, can you start your sprint beforehand? Should you? Are you gonna be just leading out other people as you slow down to go around the corner?
Yeah, interesting one.
Yeah, I think it's probably 15 seconds from the corner to the banner, but you're already slowed down. So
yeah,
I don't know how to maintain that speed there.
No, I've mistimed it in the past for sure, and also because yeah,
I like this little chatter that we see going back and forth between the riders. They're doing a little bit of like positive pep talking each other, which is awesome.
Healthy competition, I would say.
Yeah, I do think so I was a rower in college, and we always raced with the fastest boat, and the second fastest boat were always racing. And there's always a little bit of like, we're gonna catch you if you're in the second boat, or in the first boat, like, don't let them catch you. And I feel like you see this with in Zwift a lot, and I really like it. Just the constant, you know, you're not as fast, but you could be as fast in certain places, and the constant pushing of each other and teammates is like really sings to my soul. So
Yeah, to mine as well. I think you come back to the gaming element here, right? To just put me in any game and I will want to win it. And it's not different with Swift. So winning it obviously can be getting first place, but winning it can also be having a very good fight with your nemesis, someone who's close to you in capabilities and trying to beat them, for instance, in a specific race. Yeah, it's fun. It makes it fun, that healthy competition.
yeah. And I know a lot of triathletes have really leveled up their game
Hmm?
because they're used to just going long, right? Go long as hard as you can for as long as you can. And then that's not this game, right?
No,
So
no.
I know that there are quite a few triathletes on my team that have gotten a lot better by playing the game, and
So
it's helped their
just so
triathlon.
our listeners and watchers know where we're at, I decided that it would be fun to also just take a quick peek at what B is doing, watch them go up this little climb. They seem to be quite a big group still together.
They had they had the smallest pen to start too. So
Yeah, only
only
20 I see.
yeah. Um, and I see some of my favorites in here from my team, Amy and Justine. So go. Just I'm gonna leave it at that. But so the winner, the leaders in category B, Joanne Ernst, Mia Maudsley, Emily Estcourt, Justine Calder, and Malin Ronquist. So I see Maudsley, I see Ronquist, I saw Calder, um, Estcourt, I see Joanne. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't see Estcourt, but
Most of them are here though, so it will be an
yeah.
exciting finish. I'm gonna do the same with our D group just to have a little bit of a check-in, and then I think it's time to go back to the A's because they might actually be getting close to the end of the race already.
Look how big this crew is. This is the D's. This is the biggest field that we've seen and also the biggest group.
Definitely.
And so in this group, we see Aunt Ruth is in the lead. And then Janine Schumann, Lauren Chidburn. Oh,
Sorry,
bless you.
sorry.
Caroline Gronwald. And then I failed to do the fifth rider, and I'm sorry, fifth rider. I'm going to go find you right now.
Well, I go back to A because I'm getting a little bit worried that they might get close to their couple final laps, and I was correct. They are now at 19.2 kilometers out of the 23.6 that we're doing, so they're going into the final 2 laps. We will stick with those lovely A riders whilst they are finishing up their race. And then we're going to try and catch as many of the other finishes as we can.
All right. And hopefully by the time we get back to D, I will. Jennifer Baker, founder. So we still see everybody all together here. Nobody's been dropped, right?
Doesn't look like it. Obviously, we can't get the whole view of the peloton. Let me see. Proust, Larissa. I think I see everybody just at +000, so that would be well, just me. I'm 40 minutes behind, but that's okay. I'm not even on a bike.
I do think that it's interesting because when it comes down to purely the sprint, you're going to have a different winner. Because this is flat at the finish. So if everyone's together going into the last corner, I know we talked last week or 2 weeks ago about Horner. She's got an amazing sprint, meaning head and shoulders above most women. Maybe not above A women, but above most women. And so we'll see if she's in this group. I think she is.
I mean, we're watching my teammate Larissa right now, and she has an amazing sprint as well, but this is going to be a race of attrition. Do you still have that amazing sprint after going up this KOM 12 times, right?
Yeah. Although if you look at what they're doing here, I mean, we saw in the C's, we saw some middle sevens, and a lot of these women are not pushing the numbers that they're able to push.
True,
So
true.
I'm wondering if they're all kind of getting themselves ready for the final sprint.
Yeah, maybe realizing that we're not going to drop anybody here, so let's
Yeah, I
not
mean,
do anything crazy. Whereas now we actually see like a slight attack off the front.
is that Synergy again?
No, they are in a blackish jersey.
Oh.
I can go and look if I can find a Swedish rider from Tella.
She was in the top 5 at some point in this series. So
definitely putting the hurt on the peloton. Look at that. They're having to chase. I think she has no chance of keeping the lead, but
an interesting decision to try to push off the front. And TV, I think, doesn't have any other riders in this, unless she's riding under a different or with a different team for this series. She doesn't have a teammate to really rely on.
I also sometimes ride with people that are not my teammates, but that are my friends. So on races like the Iceni, for instance, we might be on a Discord together, even though we're not wearing the same jersey. You never know.
We'll see if somebody comes up and helps her, but without much help, I don't think she's gonna be able to stay away. I don't know this rider, Hogue, J. Hogue.
She's trying to catch her though, trying to start a duo attack instead of a solo one. It's hurting the group for sure.
Yeah, although she is using her power up to do so, to stay with her. So we'll see if they're able to make it stick. 2 seconds is decent if they can accelerate through that hill. They really have to keep up the momentum though, and that gap that they're letting growing.
I think actually Hogue just stopped.
Oh.
Stopped riding with her. She's back into the peloton, but I think this is also done now. Look at the speed the peloton comes into the climb.
Yeah, I think they knew if they let her stay away through this climb, she was gonna have a better chance of staying away. So,
oh, look at that!
They really
done.
Ouch.
She's done.
Yeah, it was a good try though.
I love it.
I always applaud the bravery.
So do I. Some screen time as well for the sponsors.
Yeah. I do love to see all the team jerseys. So you've got those 2 level riders, you've got some Swedish drifters in there, you've got some Synergy.
Do you know that ZWB, my team, actually doesn't have their own jersey? They're riding in the blue one with the Z on the back.
Really?
But you should see our in real life jersey. It's actually beautiful. It's a shame that it's not in the Zwift game yet. It's got these beautiful, like, whitish, greenish tones in it as well.
So Synergy did a big lead out. I wonder if they're leading out for their team. Here we go. This is
into the final lap.
Impressive.
Wow. Yeah.
They're done.
Oh, this is the finish.
Yeah.
Okay, we just messed up the finish. Let's see if we can. I was thinking it was over 24 kilometers, but it's not. It's 23.
Yeah, we will make sure that we know that this one is finishing. So Synergy did a lead out before the corner, and I'm wondering if they were leading out their final rider because they had 5 in that group. I wonder what the discussion on Discord was for that one.
Yeah, I suppose just get your riders placed as best as you could out of that corner, sacrifice somebody, and then just go all out.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good tactic if you've got multiple teammates in here,
Yeah.
especially if your teammate is not likely to be able to sprint real well. Just have them go out hard coming up to the corner and then just use that corner to really accelerate.
Yeah, have the advantage to actually know that your teammate is going to do that is huge.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we see our B category going up the climb for the final time. We can see real pushes here into the 8 watts, orange numbers, red numbers, 10 watts.
Yeah, that's a big push.
A lot of fire socks going on.
Lots of fire socks. But no real break here. So everybody stayed together.
Yeah.
For everything that we've seen, there was no actual break in the group. And that's going to be interesting to see who's got gas left at the finish.
Doesn't seem to be like it's really pushing on after either. So kind of blobbing back up. Although I wouldn't be very comfortable if I were at the back of the group now.
Yeah, I mean, if I was where that crush pod, if I was where Joanne was, I would be comfortable. Any further off, then no, but.
Okay, so
all right,
pace
fire socks
is
here.
getting higher. Oh, I picked the wrong rider. There, better.
All right, so you see, here's Joanne setting up for it, hitting the corner.
I remember the name Mosley, so I picked her. But we definitely
here comes Watt Fabric all the way through.
Bah.
Come on, Maudsley.
They're actually there already.
Oof.
Oh my god, this is a difficult finish to catch properly.
Yeah, because of all the switching of the angles, it's really difficult to be able to see. And everything changed in that last
So this
10
is
seconds.
Now also the finish of the C category.
All right, so we've got Jen Grulot. She's the leader coming into this final race. So if you see her or Layla Overmo, all those power-ups are already firing. That's fascinating. That's way before the finish.
I'm trying to click on a person and then I'm on another person so we can see here the finish, and I think it might be one who
Booker?
has done it in the...
Grulot is third, yeah. So it looks like she may have been third, which the first two were not in the top 5.
Let's go to the D's.
Coming into. This finish is really hard to see.
Come on.
You see people encouraging each other. I love that. All right, so this is D's coming into their final 1.5 kilometers. That last race, I was fascinated that everybody was firing their power-ups way before that turn.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was just like a group think thing. Everybody fired them and then
sometimes it works like that, right? So one person starts firing their power-ups and then the rest just follows.
Yeah. Oh, so Aunt Ruth is the leader in this category by a lot, and she's also one of those riders that we always say, look at Aunt Ruth. Look at what she's doing. So if you can click on her, I'm sure we'll see something from her.
I am trying to find Aunt Ruth. I don't seem to be able to.
All right. Whatever. We got some Roku Corba in here too.
But look at this attack.
Yeah, it's
breaking. So... like this is like these 4 ladies.
Well, there's their power-ups firing pretty early. I think they're gonna be caught though around that corner.
I think so too. I think so too. There's people coming from the back going really hard into this corner.
Oh, here comes Aunt Ruth firing her power-up right at the turn.
There is Aunt Ruth.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's 7 watts a kilo.
I think she came like 4th or 5th.
Yeah, and that's probably enough.
I think so too.
To solidify her win for the series. So that's excellent. And then we just have the E pen. Are we going to be able to catch them?
Yeah, this is the E-pen.
All right. So you see Molly up in front already. So she's trying to go long too. She's, I think, the one off the front.
Where we go? There we are.
Oh, and Holly from Velos is.
This is their finish,
Pushing.
right? No, they have one more lap. We get one more lap. Okay.
Okay, I was like, that does not seem like they're pushing at all.
No, I was like, where's my sprint?
We're going to see more of that. So they started after the A's, so that's why we've got this offset.
Which is actually great if you're doing a live stream, because you know that very likely the A's are going to finish first, and then you can just go from there.
Yeah.
I'm happy we were able to show all of the finishes. I do have to tell you all that it was very difficult to really make out who got each of the sprints.
Yeah, and I feel like there is that limitation in broadcasting from a community standpoint that I'm watching your stream, which is hard to commentate on. And if I had my own Swift that I could watch, from a different perspective, it would be a lot easier. But this Crit City is really hard.
I mean, it likely also has to do with my streaming setup, right? Because my setup is built of so that I, as a racer, can stream myself, but my setup is not so that I can make broadcast to do it like this and stream all the other racers.
Yeah. But you still did an awesome job. You still got the green screens. You still got the cool effects. You did awesome. It's just this course specifically is hard to view with all the corners and all the position changes.
I think so too. And look at these ladies pushing 4 watts the kilo, around 4 watts the kilo up here. Doesn't seem like it's breaking, but also stretching the group though.
You see those leaders all the way up the front. So
I'm actually watching Molly Kripke, who decided to push it over the top and try and see if she could get a gap.
Are those new wheels? I don't think I recognize those zip wheels.
They seem to be rolling backwards though.
Yeah. Huh. So she's got a second on the field. This group is big enough that it might roll through her, but
she's lapping a rider. She's pushing though. She's building the gap up to 2 seconds now.
Yeah. And she's got half a kilometer to go.
You also see that she's pushing about 3.5 watts the kilo, 3 watts the kilo, and behind her they're pushing the same on the front. Or something similar.
Yeah, she might have enough to make it here.
Look at Manondo. She's decided that enough is enough. 5.7 watts the kilo.
Oh, let's see if she catches her.
Finish.
Oh, what an exciting finish.
Yeah, she got her. Oh, I think it was very close. I think Manon just got her Molly on the finish, but that was an exciting one.
And I think that the first place winner got 100 and the second place winner got 80. So Molly had a 27-point lead going into that finish. And so I think Molly is still on top by 7 points, because I think Manon got first and Molly got second, right?
Oh, this one's going to be exciting in Cat E to see what happens, but I think you're right. You're right. Should I just quick, because we weren't able to get all the finishes in right, I'm just going to quickly do a Swift Power search that I need to log into. And actually find that's not what I wanted. Signups. Where? God, I should have just put this one already in, but I was hurrying to get to the start. I want to see our live results, but I forgot how to get there. Events. Downtown Dolphin. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. There we go.
Oh, fascinating. So Woof was, is that how you say her last name?
I have no clue. No.
Oh.
I do have a Danish friend. I should ask her.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm gonna butcher names and I don't want to, but I still want to say the names because I still want to talk about the ladies. So she was not in the top 5 going into.
She was not. Anna Swartstrom was, but then we need to look at where Camilla Alberg is in right behind her. So
Oh yeah, so
80
Camilla
to
probably
70 points.
Oh, that's tight too.
Camilla is getting it, right?
Yeah.
Just good. We're not going to go through all of them. We're just really excited to see who run the sprints and who we think may have won each of our leagues, right? So in the Bs, Rosenbeck actually got the sprint, another Danish rider from Copenhagen First Roll Cycling. So well done, ladies, today.
And Joanne was the leader going into that by a healthy lead. So I think she's still on top.
Yeah, and also let's see where Mia Mosley and then Joanne. So basically this won't make any changes to our top 2 riders, I think.
Yeah.
So
it might change the total in the top 10, but
yeah, obviously it might change the total, but not by much. The seeds. Jen Grolal taking the win for today.
And the win overall.
And the win overall.
Good job, Jen. Yeah.
There you go, indeed. Well, that was an easy one to figure out.
Yeah. And Layla finished in 18th, so she'll probably drop.
Oh, yeah, indeed. Suppose we were not expecting that because there have been sprint races so far, and I think she's done well in them then to be in second spot at this point.
I think it's just that timing of that corner is really difficult. So, I mean, I mistime it every time. So no judgment.
Glad to know that I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I think we all have one of those courses that basically we always miss time. Whatever we tell ourselves, we will always mistime it.
Yeah.
Next time I need to go a little bit earlier, then I'm too early. Next time I need to go a little bit later, then I'm too late.
Yeah, but eventually you'll get there.
Yeah.
So Aunt Ruth, I think, is still on top here. But Jennifer Baker was the 5th rider that I forgot to put on the slides. So shame on me. And also she did great. So she's going to probably move up in that.
I think 3, 4, and 5, places 3, 4, and 5 were really close together.
Yeah.
So yeah, very exciting. Very exciting racing again today. Couple of attacks that we got to witness, sprints that we got to witness where we didn't have enough eyes to see it all basically, but it was yeah, very fun to watch and do again. I don't think I'm gonna refresh once to see if we get E coming in. I'm not able to click on the E's.
I think you should
able to see them. Maybe technology is letting us down again today. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, you did do a little bit of the matrix on the switching of the views. So
yeah,
my technology let us down. Your technology let us down.
What I can say is that I had a lovely time commentating on these Iceni series. It was great to do. I hope to be back in the racing though, and the exciting bit of it next year, I suppose. But whenever I am free, I am very willing to broadcast again because I had a lot of fun doing this as well.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you for the setup and for having me and for the great work that you did. That was really awesome.
Yeah, and for you as well. Thank you for joining me. It's way more fun to do this together, to have somebody else to talk to instead of just talking to your screen.
For sure. Yeah, and it was awesome to witness the badassery. So good job to all the writers. That was really well done.
Yeah, thank you for keeping us entertained on our Tuesday evenings as well. And we'll hope to see you all next time.